Another day.
Another dollar.
I'm Guillermo Pichardo, Mr. Scrooge, and today I got my friend here, John Salazar, a master listing certified agent for the state of Florida. John, how's your day today?
Pretty good. We're working on Saturdays. Weekends are always I always like to work on weekends. People are most take it off. We get ahead and create some content.
100%. And one thing that I like to think about actually is some of the employees that I have, they don't come any Saturdays at all, only the one that they're scheduled for. And I also have other ones that they come every single Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
They're putting work every single Saturday. They don't miss a single Saturday.
Out of the total employees, how many of them come on Saturdays, on weekends? Do you work Sundays too?
No,
No, just
Sundays we're
Saturdays.
closed. I would say at least out of the entire group, maybe 20%, 15 to 20%, three or four guys.
And I'm assuming
That
those are your best producers.
Oh yeah, top producers. And that's the thing about it, that with these type of jobs, I wouldn't say jobs but careers, you're only as good as how much you can actually put into it. So you can't look at the clock. You have to be willing to work as hard as you need to and be available as much as you can, and just be out there hungry looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, one of the things that we were talking about actually a little bit earlier today, it was about knowing when to be selfish.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, do you consider yourself somebody that's selfish?
100%. Ever since I was even a kid growing up, been selfish since the beginning. Always thinking about myself, always putting myself first. I see it as a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because it's gotten me to the point where I'm at now, right? May you know Bad thing. I mean, it's I see it more good than bad. My selfishness. And if you see most of the people that are successful that are at higher levels, one characteristic that they have is that they're selfish.
I think every single girlfriend I've had, and even my girlfriend right now, they always call me selfish. And I like to explain to them that I'm not selfish. I do think about you. You know what I mean? But I always think about myself. And why do I think about myself? Because I have to work on myself, and I have to constantly be bettering myself to better our situation and to better everything around us. Where would you be if you weren't thinking about yourself? If you didn't put yourself first?
If I didn't care about myself or wasn't selfish, I'd probably still be working that job I was working not too long ago, about a few years ago. I was selling. Well, I had a few jobs, but the last one I was selling phones at Cricket Wireless. So
I remember.
I probably wouldn't still be there. I'd probably just be working other jobs, because not believing in myself, being
Following the rat
selfish,
race.
following well, not thinking for myself. Following orders, clocking in, clocking out, which I always was against. I was always rebellious. Like I never liked taking orders. I never hated when people tell me what to do. I was always had that leadership mindset. And once you figure out what how to get out of it and put your mind to it and stay consistent with it, the sky's the limit.
I feel like authority, in a way, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just depends who you're listening to and when you're listening to the right people at the right time.
100%.
So that has a lot to do with not being a sheep, not following what everybody else is doing, but also being somebody that's, you know, coachable and able to listen to other people, to use what they tell you to make yourself better.
100%. I feel like in this world, there's two types of people, right? You're either a wolf or you're a sheep. I consider myself a wolf because I go out there and take what I want. everything I wanted in life, I put my mind to it, and I always somehow get it. It could be God blessing me, or just could be my consistent, just everyday grinding, hustling, getting up, just getting after it. And something that you said just now, having that, I guess you could say, role model or idol, people that you look up to, um, you know, you kind of have to, and from what I learned from my experience, don't always take everything with a grain of salt from people that try to give you advice, or that you try to listen to, or that you look up to, right? So I always have these main factors. So look at, as a man, right? For me,
Yeah,
I
100%.
look at what type of car they drive. I look at the woman they surround themselves with, or what type of woman they're able to get. I see where they live, things that like I want for myself, and if they have those things, I'm gonna take their advice, because there's something that they know, something that they know that I don't, right? And if I look at somebody else trying to give me advice, and I see that their life is completely 180 from what I want, I'm gonna be respectful, take it with a grain of salt, and kind of just
And
keep on pushing.
it's not superficial, because I feel like that's something that a lot of people will find superficial if somebody were to hear you say that right now. But it's not superficial. It's just facts. It's the facts of life.
Yeah, I'm just factual. I'm just serious. I'm
If
not
you
here.
got if you have nice things, you worked for those nice things. You made them happen. So am I gonna listen to somebody that wasn't able to get those things, that wasn't able to live the nice life that I want to live? Or am I gonna listen to somebody with all the nice things? Doesn't mean flashy, doesn't mean, over the top crazy, but it just means having a certain lifestyle and living a certain way. Though it's a very important thing to look at in a person when you're looking at your role models.
See your watch, bro. Like your watch. Which watch is that?
This is a regular sub.
Did you work out today?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you work out?
Today was cardio day
Cardio day.
and
No weightlifting?
back and biceps.
Back and bicep.
Back and biceps and cardio day. Today there was actually an event going on at the gym.
Oh, nice.
So super slammed.
Okay.
Me personally, I just kind of hate that when you go to the gym and it's super packed. That's why I go early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't, and even early in the morning, I noticed over time more and more people going, but to me, it's more
Yeah.
comfortable.
You went later on the day today?
Yeah, I went around 10, 11 in the morning.
Okay.
10, 11 in the morning.
Yeah, I go in the morning too, to the gym around 5:30 or 6. You see less people. Weekend, you actually see more people, around 9, 10 a.m. That's when you actually could see like, well, I go to the gym right there in Elevation by Midtown, so you see kind of more around that time, more influencers, people on social media that that are local there in Miami, and they're actually having an event there too. People selling their own gym apparel
Merch and
brands,
stuff.
merch, people selling peptides, stuff like that, trying to get you on that stuff. So yeah, I mean, today I did. What's today? Today I did chest and tricep.
Every day is chest.
A quick 45-minute, yeah, a quick 45-minute workout. And then sometimes I like doing cardio. I like running. I have a pretty good endurance, so I'll go on Tuesdays to the Brickell Run Club, and then Thursdays they have the same company at the South Beach Run Club, which is the same people that run it. Large people, like a large group of people.
And obviously, for example, me and you, we're very similar in that sense because we follow a very strict and disciplined routine. I go a little bit earlier every single day, Monday through Friday. I'm there at 4:30, already ready to work out. And you said 5:30, but I feel like people have the misconception that they have to go at 5:30 in the morning to start creating a routine, but not necessarily, because when I started a routine and when I started to become more disciplined, I didn't always go early in the morning. I started off going every day at midnight once my day was done, and any time that I had to actually go and put the work in. After doing that for a while, I figured out that it was much better to go in the mornings, and that helped me create a much better and smooth routine to where it fit into my day better.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of people think that you have to do it in the morning, or it's not going to work at all. And
You don't have to do it in the morning, but because I tried going at the evening, I tried going, maybe at nighttime, not that late, midnight. That's crazy. And then, I tried doing it in the morning, and I think it's the best recipe for success, right? You wake up, maybe as early as you 4, maybe 5 or 6, get that out the way, because and then the rest of your day is
yeah, I feel like
is a breeze,
when
right?
you start your day with the biggest challenge,
Yeah.
the rest of your day just flies on by.
Yeah, you get the hardest thing out the way first. It's you're mentally it mentally satisfies you. You got that out the way. You get to your
Oh yeah.
get to work, or you start working on your business that day, and it's just
I
the best feeling
feel
ever.
we're all human, so I'm sure you've had those days during the week where you're waking up to follow your regular routine. You're out of bed, you're ready to go, but sometimes your body's telling you, like, rest, and you stay and you rest that one day. After you actually wake up, I don't know if it happens to you, but for me, I get in a bad mood. I'm
Mm.
pissed when something curves my routine and I don't do the same thing every single day. A little part of me is pissed off, and it messes up my flow for the rest of the day.
It's happened to me for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I actually stopped. So I actually stopped drinking alcohol and smoking weed the beginning of this year. And what had happened to me was that when I started real estate, I obviously learned how to make a sale, make money, and obviously once you learn that skill set on how to make money, for me, I go all out, boom, 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 and then what happened to me? I got comfortable with all that money coming in, and I will take my foot off the gas, and I'll stop doing the things that got me that success, those results, which is the routine, waking up early, making the sales calls, going on appointments because I had all this money coming in, and I'll go all out on, like, just traveling to Colombia, smoking weed a lot, drinking, and like I just
The old John.
each one of those days I will be kind of upset, mad at myself, like, fuck, I should be working. Like I know what I have to do. Just I was comfortable, right? So I will be pissed off too, but it was just being in that comfortable state. And then once the money started running out, then it's, oh shit, let me get back on my shit, right? And then boom, next year, and then after the year after that, until, like, I realized, holy shit, am I gonna keep on repeating the same thing every single year, right? So this January 2025, I decided to, okay, I figured out what was holding me back, which was these vices, right? So I stopped doing them, and it's a personal choice. Anybody else who does them, there's many successful people that drink and do all this shit. Hey, more power to them. Me, I saw a flaw in me where, like, it just held me back because I was an extremist. I'll take it to the next fucking level. I would just abuse it.
Would you say
Right?
it was more of a thing where it's a part of your personality? You have an addictive personality, so when
100%, 100%.
you overindulge.
I have an extreme addictive personality. Like, if I like something, I'm gonna abuse it, and I'm gonna go extreme on it, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing, right? So that's why I pinpointed. All right, I pinpointed what's stopping me, and it was that. So now we're 10 months in. I feel great. My business is booming. I'm more focused, clear headed. I could have a conversation like this, because when I was on the weed, like, I'll forget words, and I'll just be a air balloon, right? Air balloon head, and I wouldn't think straight. I kind of forget things, and
Part of that was
I would overeat.
yeah.
I was getting fat. Now I'm on the macros. I'm working out every single day. I'm not doing any vices. Just clear headed.
I feel like we had like a similar beginning, because when I was first getting into insurance, I could have taken it so much more serious that first year. And when you think back and you look back, you're like, wow, I lost a whole year. Not that you're not doing good, but you lost a whole year where you didn't know when to put your foot back on the gas. Because I feel like that's an important mechanism. And now when it comes to, your work and what you do for a living. But as far as indulging and knowing when to enjoy your life, knowing when to take those vacations, when to take time off. So it's like put your foot on the gas, but you have to know that when you lay your foot off the gas and you're enjoying something, you're going out for a vacation, you got to know when's the right time to just go full throttle back in, foot on the gas. And I had a similar upbringing when I was starting off in insurance because I didn't take it serious at first. I was focusing on too many things at once. I was smoking, just how you said, and I wasn't focused. I would wake up late. I wasn't exercising at the right times. And I started my discipline and my routine about 3 years ago now. 2.5 to 3 years ago. I think I'm closer to the 3 year mark. And that completely changed my life because although it was a shift to a completely different thing that I hadn't touched before, it helped me to go more full throttle into what I was doing. And I know that I served a purpose and that what I was doing every day served a purpose, not for the week, not for the day, but it served a purpose for, okay, where am I going to be at 5 years from now? Versus how I was thinking before, where I was just thinking up until the weekend, oh, what am I going to do this weekend? When you're smoking and how you said, indulging in other vices, you're indulging in the wrong things. So you're surrounding your mentality with things that just aren't important.
And we would actually, when we first met, we would smoke together. Remember those days?
Yeah.
We would smoke together, drink, just wearing up. We're
About
kids.
the wrong, yeah.
We're kids. It was a good experience, but
it's a part of the journey.
Yeah, it's part of the journey.
I feel like we wouldn't be where we're at today if we wouldn't have gone through those times.
I feel like people, I don't really think I could trust a person that's never done that because then, right? Like I could trust more somebody who's been through it because I know, okay, they've been through it. They have that experience. They have that grit in them, right? So I trust more that person than the person that's never done it because I don't know, it could be kind of cuckoo in the head.
Yeah.
And also I feel like as a man, to stay on this journey and keep yourself occupied, keep yourself busy is very important because let's say for example you let yourself become bored, right? Boredom leads to desires lead to vices, right? And then you're on that bad path to destruction. So I always say, keep your mind busy, whether it's work, whether it's whatever skill set that you've acquired or that you're learning to make a good living for yourself. Because, if you just let yourself get bored, you're going to go down the wrong path. And that's where I was going. Even though I was making good money, I'm making good money, but I just kept distracting myself. And it's very simple. It's very easy to get distracted in this life.
Part of that is really about who you surround yourself with, because I feel like when you're young and you're just trying to have fun, for example, in our experiences when we were younger and just focused on having fun, you're surrounding yourself with bad people and with the good people. And those people, the good ones, they're going to keep going up and they're going to leave you behind. Similar to what happens when you start bettering yourself. You start leaving people behind, people that just don't belong in your life anymore. They don't match your energy, they don't match your level, and they're just going to keep holding you back if you keep them around. So part of when you're young, surrounding yourself with the wrong people and keeping the wrong people around, it keeps you in the same place forever.
100% agree. Yeah, you are the sum of the 5 people or the 4 people you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
You surround yourself with people that are go-getters like us. Never take no for an answer, and push forward. You're gonna become that. You surround yourself, around potheads that all they do is smoke and not do shit and party. That's where you're gonna be.
And people that always take risks.
Oh yeah, people the first set of people that I mentioned, people that take risks, people that are not scared, and that's the type of people that you have to surround yourself with.
The real problem is those people that aren't willing to take the risk.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst.
When I first started here, I feel like that's a lot of something that I would get, comments and things like that. What if that doesn't work out? And if you're focused on that, you're focused on the wrong thing. Because if you're worried about something not working out, then your main focus is going to lead you to a mental state later on where the only thing that you're thinking about is what would have been if I would have tried that. It's better to know that you failed at something, but that you gave it your all, rather than not know the end result and not know if that could have been what changed your life.
That's the worst thing. Leaving this earth with regret. You go to a home, where the old people stay at, and you ask. I want you to go ask them and talk to them. All they're gonna talk about is, oh, I wish I would have done this. Oh, would have done that. Just full regret. So that's the right mentality to have, and what you need to surround yourself with in order to to make it to the next level.
Yeah. And it's important not to be reckless either.
Yeah.
You don't want to go full crazy, full reckless,
Yeah.
but as long as you know how to make the right decisions and actually take action,
What are
that call for action.
what would you say are some risks that you like, one of the biggest risks, or maybe some risks that you've taken that you would say that has got you to the next level?
I would say one of the biggest risks I took was spending the amount of money that I spent when I was opening up my office and when I was taking things, to the next level, hiring people, some months spending too much money on marketing, overspending. I feel like was the biggest risk I took, and I would say that it always pays off. Maybe not at the time where you want it to, but it always pays off. Because, for example, you being in real estate, I'm sure that you work with leads all the time. And one of the biggest things to look at is that when you're buying a lead, you're not basing that lead off, okay, how many did I close out of those leads today? How many appointments did I set out of those leads today? You got to give things time.
Mm-hmm.
You really know the end result of leads, for example, in this scenario.
Follow up. That's the name of the game.
And calling them over and over again
yeah.
through a long period of time.
Not being scared to call them and say, oh, I might bother them, or
A lead you
yeah.
purchased 90 days ago could end up being your sale for the week.
Yeah.
And then the ones that you purchased that week could result in nothing that week. But I feel like giving things time to really see that end result.
If you're in sales, and obviously everything's gonna be leads, you just gotta follow up, and never feel like you're bothering them, because the one that you feel like that you're bothering, and you're not, you might just text them instead of calling. Calling is always the best way to get a hold of them. You just one phone call away from that one yes, and boom, that's in my business. The regular average commission check here in Miami or in Broward County is about $14,000. So it ranges from 14, 15, 20, yeah. 25, 30, just depending on the sales price and the percentage, obviously, that you're charging. So make the calls.
I feel like it's really important. Back to what we were talking about, how no matter what, when you're willing to take risks and when you don't take the risks, you're put in a position where people are always going to have something to say. Whether it's the people that you're surrounding yourself that are good, whether it's the ones that are bad, they're always going to talk and they're always going to have opinions, whether you're doing something right or whether you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like one of the beautiful things about it is that the more hate that you're getting, you start to realize that you're more on the right path to doing the right things.
I love haters. It's energy, free energy. Hate on me all you want, right? Yeah. Hate on us all you want. It's energy.
I think that's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Good energy or bad energy, you're giving more energy.
All publicity is good publicity.
Basically.
Bad or good, doesn't matter.
What do you think about teamwork? Do you say you work better alone, or do you think that, for example, with you work better when you're working with other people? And in your industry, because every industry, I'm sure,
I feel
It's
like
different.
I feel like I mean, when you're starting off, I feel like in my business, right? It's better to just work alone, right? Because as a realtor, when you first get in the game in the industry, you're going to, start in the office, go to an office, and if you let yourself get carried away by the people in the office, like for example, go to lunch, socialize, go to these classes that are not really, and I'm telling you from experience because I started off like that. I went to these classes. Yeah, they were informative, but I have no deals going on right now. So what? Okay, like the learning is in the doing. So when I went through that year and I realized, okay, this is not working out. Let me get myself a mentor. That's the first time I ever spent so much money, like thousands of dollars on a mentor, which to me it was like, all right, fuck it, let me just take a risk. Because that money I could have easily spent it on something else, right? And I was just starting up, but I'm like, you know what? Let me invest this because I know if I invest this money, I'm gonna get a return out of it. And that was the best decision of my life because I'm here now. With that mentor, I learned how to make sales calls, how to communicate on the phone, how to get the appointment with the homeowner to acquire listings. I'm more listing based, more on the selling side, right? I still work with buyers, but I'm more listing based, right? So I like to acquire more listings. And when you have listings, you control the inventory of the market, right? Buyers are calling you, buyer agents are calling you. You're controlling the inventory
So
and the price.
regardless, in a way, you're working as a team because you're working as the
Yeah,
seller, and then you got the buyers hitting you up. You
yeah.
guys have
And
to
then
work
obviously once
together.
you grow, keep growing. I mean, that's when you actually need like an assistant, a transactional coordinator, stuff like that. I mean, I, I can still control what I have. I haven't made it to 100 listings. That's the goal. That's like really like honing down and like, obviously. Uh, but I feel like for me, I like working alone. You know, in this business, in insurance, you can't be the lone wolf. You need to have a team of callers calling for you, right?
It
Is that
really
how it works?
depends. It really depends on where you want to go with
Yeah.
insurance. It depends if you want to be an independent agent, if you want to be a captive agent, if you want to own an agency. It really all depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
For example, I'm a firm believer in teamwork because I feel like you build people, you don't build businesses. And when you work on people and you're helping people grow, you grow as well. So a big thing for me is, I call my team the dream team because I feel like teamwork makes the dream work. And part of growing together while you're helping others grow is that you guys both have mutual goals
Mhm.
and your vision is the same. And when both of you are benefiting from the same goals and achieving the same things, I feel like you work well as a team. Doesn't mean that we're working right next to each other, talking to each other the whole day or distracting each other. I just feel like working in a team, it it's what's defined of working as a team. You know, are you guys just working together to become better, or are you guys working together to, distract each other and
Yeah.
do other things?
Yeah. I feel like besides, the insurance or real estate, I feel like just overall, let's say for example, you're not with people that are in your same business, but I feel like also having people like an accountability team, people to hold you to your highest self and accountability, and self accountable. I feel like it's important to have like a brotherhood around you to that way you guys are, kind of holding each other accountable to make sure that you guys never miss, never, stay backtracked and always just elevating, breakthrough after breakthrough, boom, boom, boom. So I feel like that's important too. Whether you can't find people in your business, right, to have that accountability group.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say that role play and practicing together is something important, or do you think that that's something that isn't important in
Like-
your opinion?
Like role playing, like the scripts and stuff.
The scripts and
Oh.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's important. You know, you always gotta sharpen the axe, right? Abraham Lincoln said it right. You know, if you have 6 hours to cut down a tree, use the first hour to sharpen the axe and the other hour to cut it down. So I feel like that is a good metaphor for life. Practice makes perfect. And if you do that, then yeah, you'll get better as far as in communication, the presentation, the sales calls, etc.
For me, I feel like role play with a big team, it can be a clown show. I try to integrate role playing into my team, and I even invested money into flashcards, making it game style. And there's people that take it serious. There's people that to them it's like essential, and then for some of them, it's a joke. You know, they take it
Role-playing?
as they take it as time to just chat, not take it serious.
Do you join them in the role play or no? You
Yeah.
just let them do it.
Well, I join them in the sense that I'm, you know, running the game, and sometimes I do role play
I
with
saw
them.
the flashcards you have there, like
Yeah.
with the objections.
And objections. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing, because what's something that in any sales industry is the first thing that happens is the objections,
Objections, yep.
the rejections. But I feel like if you know, 9 out of 10 times, if you fight the objection, you will keep them on the phone. Even if they're not going to buy you, even if they're wasting your time, there's a way to keep them on the phone, and there's a way to keep the engagement going past the objection.
I feel like sometimes it's not really an objection. Sometimes maybe it's a smoke screen, and then sometimes maybe it's a condition. So, for example, a smoke screen is something like, okay, hey, do you want to sell your house? No, not right now. It's a smoke screen. It's not a condition, right? A condition will be like, oh, I can't because I have to wait for my job, right? My job, I have to, leave this date. Okay, that's a condition because their job is giving them a date that they can't sell. Now they say, no, not right now. Smoke screen. Oh, okay. That's definitely an option for you. Let me ask you this and then move on to the next one. So I feel like not everything's an objection. It's either a smoke screen or it's a condition. So you just got to keep,
Sometimes it is legitimate when somebody gives you an objection, but not always. So when you get that objection, you have to know to pick the right battle to fight in a way. Sometimes because you can have the right phone call, you can have the right person on the phone. They just don't want to talk to nobody that moment. Caught them at the wrong time. And that could have been, one of the biggest deals you ever got. So I feel personally that objections is something that no matter what, you should learn how to fight them. Because even when you get either one of those two scenarios, the smoke screen or the condition, sometimes that's just the excuse that they're throwing at you just to get off the phone.
Yeah.
Just to not talk to you. So you got to fight past
once you
the
push
objection.
that, yeah.
You got to push past it to really see where you stand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really are wasting your time, but a lot of times you're not.
You got your guys saying, hi, hello, how are you? Like the how are you? Or
No. I use a different script.
just straight to the point?
No. So the first thing in the phone call, I feel like, is ask who you're talking to. We got their names right in front of our screens. Hey, is this John?
Yeah.
Keeps them engaged. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, who the hell is this? They're curious now to ask you a question. And I feel like that's the most important thing that you want. You want the person that you have on the phone, you want the client to have questions and ask you questions. Same way that you want to ask them questions, open-ended, to keep a conversation going. So, no, I don't start, hey, I hate that. I always tell them, start the phone call off with a question. Hey, am I speaking to John? And you'll probably be like,
Yeah, who's this?
John, who's this? Now, what you say after that, it really determines whether they're going to stay on the phone with you or not. the way that you ask it, the way that you say it. So, but the beginning of the call, always question. I think that that's essential.
I usually say, "Hey, Guillermo, it's John Salazar. How you been?"
That's good
Oh,
too.
good,
Yeah.
good. How are you? Oh, good, good, man. Hey, I was calling about, and then boom.
Catch them off guard.
Yeah.
It's
You just
super.
gotta have everything is confidence, right? You know, and anything you do is, you know, you gotta have confidence, and you gotta believe you're the man. You gotta believe that just you're the top dog, and with that mentality, will take you far in anything you do in life, whether it's sales or just talking to people, getting the girl, right? Because I feel like sales is talking to girls. You know, yeah, you're gonna get rejected a few times, but you just need that one yes.
You can't get pushed down because of the amount of no's you get. You got to go into every call, whether it's a waste of time or not. You got to go into every call, knowing that it's gonna be the one, even if you know deep down inside that that person's not gonna buy that day, or they're not gonna make an appointment with you. If you go into it with the energy and feeding off that energy that you already made up in your mind that it's a sale, then that conversation is going to go 10 times better for you.
You gotta believe in yourself, believe in your skills, be confident. That will do wonders for you and take you really far.
Another thing that works, I feel like, is really being yourself and not being robotic.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like people really want to speak to a person.
Yeah. Especially all these AI calls. I always get those spam calls. I always fuck with
People
them
people
and talk with
don't people don't buy products.
no.
They buy the experience and the personality.
They buy from the person who they like, love, and trust. Simple as that. Same thing with the real estate. Like they always say, "Oh, what company are you with?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm with LPT Realty," but it doesn't really matter which brokerage I'm with. I could be with Douglas Elliman, Keller Williams. Companies don't sell homes. The agent on who you hire sells the home and the experience and the work ethic. And then boom, I already got them. And then the personality I have, the confidence, I already got them. Right?
Yeah. Products don't sell themselves, you know. It's all about the approach, and you also have to be somebody that's pretty approachable.
Yeah.
You have to make them know that you have a personality. You're not a robot. You know what's one thing that used to work for me actually when I was selling was a little bit of sarcasm.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
laugh,
being a little sarcastic,
laugh with them.
making them laugh.
Yeah.
You know, different personalities, of course. You gotta read the person that you're talking to, but one big thing that I used was sarcasm, for example.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think that's why I'm pretty good on the phone too, because I'm very like unorthodox. Like, you know, we get on the phone, we get the appointment, and it's just like, treat them like they're, because the people selling now are mostly older people, right? They're downsizing or just relocating somewhere else. So that's why I'm usually always talking to and going to meet, and I kind of see them as like my parents now, right? And people that I just respect, and just be myself.
What
Be
would
confident.
you say right now in your industry is one of the biggest challenges that you face with selling real estate or listing real estate right now?
Challenges that I go through, just the market.
The market.
Okay, so the market right now in Miami, I feel like Broward County as well. That's the two counties that I work. I feel like homes are right now just taking longer than usual to sell, which is why it's very important that you price it correctly from the beginning, right? So it's, from the very first step when you meet the seller, it's very important to go over pricing, how long it takes, the reality of the numbers, where the market's headed to, and just guide them the right way, because some sellers might want to overprice it, and you have to show them numbers. We could try that overpriced number, just as long as they understand within 14 21 days if the home let's say hasn't sold, or maybe hasn't got a contract, or maybe we haven't got any showings, or let's say we did get showings but no offers. That's just the market simply speaking to us and saying that we need to improve the price immediately, because
I feel like when you're looking for a house, it's a big red flag when you see, oh, it's the price has been cut 3-4 times.
Not really. It's just price improvements. Maybe they're just the realtor, not even the realtor. The seller wants to
What
start
if
off a
it's
bit
been
higher.
cut down multiple
Like price
times?
reductions?
Yeah.
It's fine. I've had properties that I had to do a few price reductions, because we had, they wanted to start off a bit higher, and I let them know ahead of time. I future pace them just to, I'm always okay with that, because always sellers want the most amount of money. Buyers always want the best price, right? So sellers always want to think their house is worth more, which is okay. Just we need, us as realtors, certified listing agents, we have to show them the truth, the reality, and always try to guide them the right way. Because if you're like one of these realtors that buy the listing, tell them, oh yeah, their house is worth $750, but they tell them, oh, I can get you $900,000. That right there, you're leading them down the wrong path, doing a disservice to them.
And because the home selling at $750.
Because the home is gonna sell. It's gonna stay there on the market for 6-12 months, and then now that seller has a bad taste with realtors because they probably went from that realtor to another realtor, and no realtor had the guts to have that price conversation with them about the reality of things. And that's what I like to do. Always give them, no matter if I get the listing or not, because they want to list it higher, I always come in with the truth, right? The reality of the market, the numbers. And if they want to list it, perfect. If they still feel like their home is still worth more, it's always about motivation. Like why do you want to sell, right? And if I feel like if you have that, as a realtor, if you have that price conversation with them, you actually show them that you care, find out their motivation, you get the property sold for them. And it's always about like finding out what the motivation is.
And the reason why I asked you about the price reduction is because I feel like you see that more than ever right now.
Oh yeah.
That every single property that's listed out there, the price has been reduced multiple times.
Yeah, this year I've had the most price reductions. I had the most withdrawn, canceled listings because just a different market, right? Market has it hasn't gone down. Just things have stabilized. And then obviously with so many more homes up for sale and less active buyers out there to purchase those homes, then it's caused homes to actually get more price reductions because now.
Would you say it's an oversaturated market right now with too many homes?
Too many homes for sale and not enough buyers. And I'm thinking maybe because of the interest rates. There's still buyers out there. They're just not as much. And it's not keeping up with the amount of homes.
More conventional.
Yeah, it's not. It's not keeping up with the amount of homes getting listed. Boom, boom, every single day. It's a good thing or bad thing because some of those homes are gonna fail to sell, expired, canceled, and those are the leads that I call to get the listing, right? So it all works out. It's all like
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, it's all a business.
Yeah, it's two very different things. I feel like real estate and insurance, because I feel like insurance,
different products.
Yeah, it's not
different services.
It's not so much a luxury or not so much a decision that you want to make, but it's more so something that you need because you need to carry insurance all the time, no matter what. It's a different product, how you said. Something that you always need. So
yeah. But you're still dealing with people, right? It's all people's. I think that's the number one industry when you're dealing with people that will get you a lot of money, make you rich, right? People, because people always need something. People always need insurance. People always need to sell. People always need to buy a home. People always need housing, and then for the housing, people need insurance. So get into one of those. Get into one of those sales. Get into sales. Acquire a skill set and make some money. And be consistent about it.
That was episode 2, Mr. Scrooge Podcast with John Salazar.
Appreciate you.